I think last year met Jerry Anderson? Who has not met Jerry Anderson? Okay, a couple new people. Jerry Anderson, I've known Jerry for at least 10 or 12 years.
It feels longer than that, but
Yeah.
probably that. I'm sorry.
Anyway, he's a gentleman. I said when we went through the process of getting these cabins approved for production, I called Jerry up and we text the stuff that we had worked out with Department of, what is it, DSPS?
Yes, sir.
What's the sample?
Department of Safety and Professional Services.
Okay, so the secretary and I and a whole chief of staff and some of the building guys in-house, we struggled with the language, sent him stuff, he marked it up, sent it back, I marked it up, sent it back, and that happened 2 or 3 times before we finally got down to what we wanted, and then it went to the legislators and it got done. One of the biggest concerns that the big thing was, well, they don't have wheels on them, they're not portable. That's their whole, they were all hung up that because they don't have wheels. Now, how many people have seen these North Star cabins that we've had here the last 2 years? Did you see them where they slid off a truck?
Yep.
And they had a tote, they put wheels on it? And so the first year that, when we were going through this process, I had the lieutenant governor here, secretary here, I had two or three secretaries, 2 or 3 legislators, and I said, okay, now I'm gonna show you how this works. And we pulled the semi up, cabin rolled off the back, semi, they put the wheels on it, they rolled it around the parking lot, turned it around in a 360 within itself. Put it back on the truck in 11 minutes. I said, now is there anybody here that thinks this is not portable? We have a problem here? Are we done with this conversation about being portable? I said, we can put this thing anywhere. I can put that cabin on a site faster than a guy can unhook that from a semi. Because when a park model comes, he's got to take it off the semi. And a lot of times you can't get where those park models are going to go on a semi. They have to come off and you need a tractor or a skid steer to put that thing in place. These guys, I had them pushing at Merrimack Campground. We had 6 of those delivered, 6 inches of snow on the ground. That sucker just drove through there and set those babies down. I couldn't believe what he could do with that piece of it. You want to move it 2 inches to the side?
What's the name of it? Is it North
Star.
North Star Buildings or?
North Star Buildings, yeah. They build all those sheds that you see on the side of the roads. They probably have half of those in the state of Wisconsin. They can build any size you want, pretty much any way you want. So over the years, Paul Miller, who owns that company, and Jerry has been to his factory.
Yep.
Very nice place.
Over the top, clean and
I mean,
professional.
clean,
Very.
Air from the guys, they spent the money the right way to build a really quality product. And, and from the time I've talked to them and Jerry's talked to them, we got 16-inch on center, the floors are all notched and, gang screws or whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
And, they have their own truss plant there to build the trusses. And again, there's 2 ways to anchor a truss. It has to have a clip or you got to screw it in from the top. And he's gone, so Jerry has been there, met with the owners of this company. They got a good relationship, and so some of you people have already bought that stuff and remodeled yourself. Now, so with that being said, once you get a cabin, the process of getting it to the point where you can rent it involves electrical wiring, plumbing, etc. That's where he comes in because you can't close the walls up just like you can't close a house wall up without, he has to look at it. Oh. So, once he gets done, and he has a final inspection, this little tag here, this is, when you buy a park model, what does the code say about any camper in your park? What's it has to have on it? An RVIA sticker. You know that little black sticker? So when the state comes in, they're looking for the sticker. As long as that sticker's on there, you're done. Well, now we created this sticker here. And this is, you got to get that through him. You can't go down by this. You can't get it. You have to have an inspector. He provides this. So when he's done inspecting, you'll get this little tag that you apply to the front of your cabin, and that's the only other thing they look for. So the state health department, and you're gonna meet those guys tomorrow, Jim Kaplanik, Mary Ellen, again, they know all about this.
One thing I want to say about this is the green one is for a brand new one that is following the code from when it started. An orange one is a pre-existing before the code took effect. So
Yeah, so
they have both.
if you have something that's already there, you know, he can still come and do his homework on it, ask a lot of questions.
Going to be a limited inspection because it's like a home inspection where I'm not Superman, I can't look through the walls, but it'll be a surface inspection and,
You know-
and just so you can get the orange one.
When I build houses, you know, we never, I mean, I dealt with a lot of inspections in my life, but, you know, you got to the point where when we were building houses, they said, well, that's a Steyer house, and you had to go in and close it up. He drove by, he didn't even step foot. However, if he chose to, like, he could walk into a cabin and take the plate off an electric box and say you got 2 switches in there. Well, if there's 26 wires in that box, it's overloaded. So it was never done properly. Now you got an issue. Okay? Hopefully that never happens to you, you know. But they have the power to look if they want to. Okay? Now, when you have those stickers on there, you shouldn't have any trouble with your health guys. And I mean, they now have been trained to look for the sticker. So last year I hosted the state inspectors brought 6 trainings to my park, and we spent 6 hours together in training these people what to look for. So they're never, I mean, immediately, oh, I always wanted to know what that sticker looked like. These people never seen it before. Okay, well now they know what it looks like. But they're gonna be looking for it. When they have it, you're done. When you don't have it, they're gonna say, I don't wanna be that guy standing there. I've always told people, just pay to get the damn thing. Pay this man to go inspect them and get them up there, because you don't want that hassle. You really don't want it. And I think what your current fees are like $550.
Something like that, yeah, it depends.
You know, depending on where you live,
Location.
how far he has to travel.
Yep.
But he covers the state. So, with that being said, Jerry Anderson, I'm gonna step aside.
Thank you, Bud.
Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. Basically, what we're here to do is not a man cave, it's more of a fam cave. You're bringing your families up to entertain them at your campsites and have fun and get away and recharge your batteries. But anyway, I'm a camper too, so I get it. What we're looking at is basically a tiny house that doesn't have a foundation, because you're not going to have it stuck to the ground except for sheer gravity holding it down. One thing that I wanted to mention was one question that came up from last year to this year was somebody was asking me about ADA. Once I come through, if it is built ADA compliant from front to back and meets all of ADA requirements, there's no ADA sticker. Or a metal tag. I'm gonna hand this around, you guys can look at it, hand it around. Anyway, that is something that is going to be attached by the campground owner, whether they staple it, screw it, nail it, glue, whatever they want to do to it. That's on the campground owners to attach it to their building, whether it's a yurt or a cabin, whatever it is. Anyway, ADA, I think if you don't already have one, at least provide one. So then when somebody in that condition shows up or would like to go camping, then you can at least offer it. But you guys know what you're doing on that part. Anyway, it's a tiny house. It's got to be portable, like Bud mentioned. Done a lot of inspections on these camping units where they're on like 4x6 runners, and then they have the crossing frames. And like he said, North Star can do it. I've had people build their own from front to back. North Star provided just a shell to Bud on a couple cases, and he had a local contractor finish them. So anyway, yeah.
So we're just talking about new modern cabins that fit into the code, these camping cabins,
Camping units, yep.
camping units. But some of us also have ones, you know, that are on foundations and whatnot. We're not talking about
I
that.
can't inspect those because that's affixed to the ground. So
So it's
I-
not, this is specifically just about the camping cabins.
if you can move it, I'll inspect it for you. But it sounds like it's not getting moved. I've moved entire homes down the street, so,
Right,
I mean, I work for a heavy hauler company where we lift up an entire house. You get the police to tuck back traffic and pull up power lines, and you take the house from here on this side of town, you move it 2 towns over, set it down. I've done that. We're not talking that. This is only 400 square feet or smaller. Bud just said that you can haul up to 16 feet wide without special permits and stuff, I believe. And it also has to fit underneath underpasses and power lines. So you got to be thinking, you know, look around it. Or
So this is new ones that we're building.
Yes.
To this new code.
Yep.
And then these new ones need to be inspected by the state. The state's requesting this or requiring
yeah,
it?
yes, no, there's a code on it. Yeah,
There's a code on it,
Yeah.
and it's required to have one of these metal stickers on it.
upon a final inspection, everything's done. You get the metal label. Yeah,
Do you have that code in writing?
it's DSPS 327.
Okay.
It's on. I don't.
And that would show all
You know
the
what? That's a good point. Maybe I'll bring some next year, or get it to Bud or Lori and have it put into a Waco mass mailer that if somebody wants to see it after this event.
Is that
Yes.
part of the statutes? Because they have a really good statute looker up around the state, right? If you go on their website, you can just scroll right to.
You can type it in and it'll track it down. Yeah. Yep.
So I've had, over the years, I've built probably about 20 of them. And I'll be honest with you, I had Jerry come out and take a look at mine. And I'll be honest with you, it's a great insurance policy because you don't want the what if to happen. You need that tagging. Years ago, we didn't need that.
Right, but are yours the mobile ones?
Oh yeah, everything's,
They're all mobile.
I built them on mobile home frames, so they were portable. But back in the day, again, remember, we didn't need that stuff.
Right.
Now, we do, and I'd rather
Yeah.
have Jerry come out
Yeah.
and inspect it for his nominal fee, have that plate,
Yeah.
though I haven't put them on yet.
That's on you. I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah,
I don't care when you put them on. I handed them to you. That's
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Those don't have any.
Those you don't have, that falls under the other, yeah, innkeepers and.
yes, sir.
Now, they're saying portable,
Yes.
it's gotta be movable.
Yes.
Do they state how far it's gotta?
No.
2 inches,
You could buy one and
2 inches far enough?
you could buy one that's built in Kenosha and move it up to Hayward.
Once you set it down, put it on a site, it's gotta be movable.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
how far does it, do they specify a distance? Like if I
It-
hook up to it, if I put eye lights in the front
Yep.
on my big ski,
Sure.
and I hook up to it with the skid steer, I
Yep.
can move it a couple inches.
If you're that bored, yes. Have a nice day.
Okay. So it's,
I don't think you're saying that you have to demonstrate that you can move it.
No, it just can't have a foundation under it and be a single family house.
Has to be a self-contained unit.
Camping unit, less than 400 square feet.
yeah.
Now, your local county may come out and say, hey, you got to tie these down for wind. That's not me. That's a local nuance that they may enforce on you. You know what? If you don't ask, you don't find out. So do whatever you want. That's not my baby. So 400 square feet, basic framing, 2x4s, 16-inch on center. North Star does a single plate. I've been butting heads with them a little bit about on their top plates, a stud should be at the end of the plate where it stops and where it starts another plate. So it's half on the stud, half on the stud. For the first year, I was catching them where the plate was, well, here's a stud, here's the plate, here's another stud, and the plate's not supported on the end of the studs. So what I did was when it got to Bud's, I go, just put a stud in there, shut me up. So he grabs a stud, nails it down. I go, okay, now I don't have to look at that now.
Don't they do a double top plate?
They did not do a double top plate. What they did was they stacked their rafters.
You always have a double top plate.
You would think so.
I mean, it wasn't 2x4
Right. And I even mentioned that to him. I said, why don't you double top plate it? And then I can shut up again. But even the intermediate plate was not supported on the ends. No, they still don't want to do a double top plate. And what we worked with was every rafter sits right over the stud, so it's direct bearing. And I said, well, you got to give me the twist tie hanger, the clip to hold your roof on, or run ledger lock screws through to hold your roof down. So we hammered through that. That's the framing part of it. You got to have a 3.0 front door. That's automatic. You don't have to have a second door to go outside. You just have to have one door. In a sleeping room, typically I'm seeing these where you may have a mom and dad's room or one bedroom. You have to have an egress window 20 by 24 in any direction, double hung, crank out, whatever type window, whatever, that'll meet that clear opening for someone to get out. Hopefully they never need it. One smoke detector, one CO detector. It can be a combination one somewhere on the ceiling.
Even if there's no CO generating stuff, you still have to have that in case they bring heat.
In case they bring in some heat, yeah, just put it in. You know, it's,
Hardwired?
I would like it to be, but you know what? It's used 6 months out of the year. Just put a battery one in, you know, and make it a combination so you don't have to go buy one later. Yes.
Are they still hung up on cubic feet of airspace?
No.
They're not?
For what? Air exchange?
I didn't realize that there's enough cubic feet of airspace per person. They used to be they used to be a kick.
It was like big Corona scare in Camping World? No.
Yeah, that you had to have so many, maybe it was
No.
an individual, inspector, but it was.
Wow. Never heard that.
Yeah.
No.
Bunk beds?
With,
What's that?
Between the bunk beds?
No, in a unit. So if you have, say, sleep 6 or 8, you have to have enough cubic feet.
that's a new one.
So, yeah.
Not with this one. Not with this inspector. No. Just breathe on your own and you'll be okay.
Yeah, would that be a county thing or?
It could be a local, could be a local jurisdiction thing. That's news to me. Not in my county, anyway. Bud mentioned electric and plumbing. You don't automatically have to have electric and plumbing in these. You can just have it just be a shell, but it does say if you are going to put in electric, it must be a 50 amp breaker. That must be readily accessible to disconnect. So a plug, you just plug it in. We'll disconnect it. Okay, I'll unplug it. Plumbing, if you're gonna have plumbing, got to be able to disconnect it. Undo your hose clamps, disconnect it. You're moving it. That satisfies the code on that. Doesn't say you need a kitchen in these. It's pretty generic. It's basically, it could be a wide open bunkhouse where you have just loaded with beds.
Back to egress window.
Yeah.
Is that only if it's a bedroom with a door on it?
If there-
I was told
yes.
if I put a curtain on there instead of a door, I did not need an egress window.
Correct. A door that closes, that is now contained from the rest, and you'd have to have a smoke detector in there too.
Yeah. But as long as you put, you have a sleeping area.
With
you
it.
Just have a curtain, you have like a door open.
Doorway.
Fixed door, put a curtain on it, no egress window required.
No egress, no smoke detector. Yep, good question. Insulation, I can go through the inspections that I would be doing. There would be no foundation inspection because it's not that. So I would have a framing inspection and then do all the mechanicals, the if electric and plumbing. And then you rough them all in. And then upon a satisfactory inspection on that, insulation, welcome to Wisconsin, it's gonna get cold. Insulation is two things. It's gonna keep the heat out, it's gonna keep the heat in. Depends upon what time of year it is. So insulate them to code, it's in the code. The code will keep saying, refer back to like single family housing. It's just a smaller space.
No, I have inspected a few miners.
Yep,
And I have logs, true logs.
yep.
And
There's so much R value. For a solid log, you get so much credit for solid mass log. Correct. Yep.
So what R value do they require for walls and?
Walls are like R13, R15. Ceilings are like, and which I find are hard to get, is like an R30, but you can get. I've seen people use rigid 2-inch foam.
I was told by our inspector, we built a couple cabins, as long as I didn't have built-in source of heat, I did not have to have any insulation.
Okay.
So we put through the wall air conditioner with electric heat in them.
Okay.
Didn't put it in until after he was done inspecting, so there was no source of heat, so no insulation.
Didn't hear that. Okay.
And then after he went by,
Hold on. Let me go ahead and get a drink here. Hold on.
because insulating
Yeah.
a building that's only used Memorial to Labor Day.
Right. Yeah. Early. Yeah.
Because we want to do log.
Okay. Good point. And you know what? It's so cliche. Well, once the inspector's done, I'm going to do whatever. I know it happens. I've seen it happen. I went back on a job, nothing with campers, but it was a single-family home, a contractor. I came back. I don't know why I came back. I just came back, and I'm like, oh, what happened to this? Like a handrail or something. And I was in the way. The owners didn't want it. And he mudded off the holes where all the screws went through the drywall.
You're done.
There's some recourse on it where I could have. Anyway, I said put it back on. I know he didn't. Anyway, so now the radar's up on that guy. So let's see. Any questions? At any time, ask questions. Yes.
Is it one inspection to look at the electrical and the plumbing, and then one after the installation?
They can all be done at the same time. So if you rough in everything, so if you build it and they put in plumbing and electric and HVAC, which probably just be a window unit or some kind of heat source, if at all, that can all be one inspection. The next inspection would be the insulation inspection before you close up the walls. And then the final inspection would be a final. And where I'd come out, take it all the way around, check it all out, and then issue the little green seal upon a satisfactory final inspection. So, let's see. I've seen metal roofs go on them. They don't say they can't be metal. I've seen shake shingles or regular asphalt shingles. Another thing too, a question came up. A camper wanted to put in a ladder for a set of stairs to go up to a loft. Well, the code states that loft, that all the little kids want to climb up there and sleep, and it's a fort, it's a weekend, I'm going to get nuts, I'm going to hang out up there, is made for storage. Some people want to store their kids up there so they can sleep. Really shouldn't. By code, you're not supposed to. Go ahead, store your kids. I'm not going to drive around and see who's storing their kids up in their loft and who's not. It's like taking the railing off on a set of stairs. The railing, or even the railing up there, it's got to be high enough and to meet the code to keep something or someone from rolling off and getting hurt or dead or whatever you do when you bounce 6, 7, 8 feet off the ground. Anyway, the code is just common sense. It really is. It's minimums and maximums. You can put a second door on the back. Minimal lighting. You got to have a light on the outside by where you come in. There should be a convenience outlet outside. Again, if there's electric. Maybe there's no electric, you know. Anyway. Any questions? Excellent. I put on your tables a blank building permit application form because over the last couple of years, I got, anybody want one? I got extras. I'd come out, guy behind you wants one too. Anybody? Sure. Here you go. You bet. So I get you guys calling me like, Jared, how do I fill out an ad? But where's the application at? How do I get this started? Well, this is just it's a uniform building permit app, and it's from the state of Wisconsin. And we can run down it real quick if you want. Real easy. Your name, your address, and who's going to do the work. If you are putting plumbing in, you got to put their plumbing credential license number in here. Same with electrical.
Can you do the plumbing yourself?
Well, is that going to be your permanent residence?
Mine? No.
Okay, then no.
How about build it? Can you build it yourself?
You can build it yourself.
Okay, you don't have to be a licensed contractor?
I would like you to be licensed, but there is a form basically stating that you're waiving, well, basically stating that you're not a license holder and you're the campground owner, that you assume all responsibilities, just so that we can play along and get along.
So electrical, plumbing, you need a license?
Must.
Electrician, license holder, but for the construction, you do it yourself?
Correct. Very simple. Building address, don't have to fill that in because they're portable. Down here where it says area involved, down on the left-hand side, about 2/3 of the way down, it'd be no larger than 400 square feet. That's the footprint. Okay? So Bud said it was 16, well, whatever crunches out to 400 square feet or less.
That's wall to wall, correct,
Outside to outside
of the wall.
of the, bu-
Not the overhang, if you have an overhang.
not the overhangs, it's the footprint of the building.
Including the deck?
The deck, no. When I inspect these, I don't include the deck because the deck should not be attached to them. I'm gonna come right out and tell you, I don't care if you attach the deck after I leave. I don't. I'm there to look at the building. If you're gonna have a deck on it, or if you're gonna have a temp set of stairs when I come out, fine. And then I'm gonna want the railing. So, I mean, if I gotta go up 3 steps, you gotta have a handrail. Yes.
Those North Star buildings, those are all built right on, the deck,
They're all built at North Star, right in their factories that I visited. Yep.
but that's what I'm saying, those would be attached, you couldn't really attach it before you.
Well, that's part of their frame.
Right.
Yep. I would still,
Square footage then,
I would still look at the footprint of the actual living space.
so it's part of the frame.
It's part of the frame. It's gray area. Come on. Anyway, let me help you guys out.
Work with them a little bit.
Work with me. I'm gonna look at the space that's inside the walls. Their decks aren't, 10, 15 feet deep. They're maybe 4, maybe 3.5. Just something to get on it, so then you can go in. If you do have an ADA 1, you may want to consider a 0 or low threshold and a 0 entry shower. And if you're going to go ADA, you should probably put in knee bumpers under the sink. So if somebody rolls in on a wheelchair, that they don't smash their legs on the plumbing. You can get pads, or you can put a piece of panel where you come down and they could bump the panel like a shin guard. So pretty easy, pretty straightforward. It's just a tiny house. Some people, okay, here you go with the deck question. This contractor put a loft up over that deck, and it was the deck was about 6 foot attached, so I counted it, and he was still inside the 400 square. So he had a loft at both ends. You come in, and you got a ceiling. Instead of it being vaulted outside, he put a ceiling out there with a light in it, so you can see what he's doing. And you come in, and here's a ladder hard to your left, and you go up this ladder, and they were storing their kids up there when they're up there camping for sleeping. And they had another ladder on that end. So they had dueling lofts. This one's only 6 foot deep, but they maximized every square inch of that thing. They got to be able to fit down the road. Like I said, underpasses, overpasses, power lines. So, yep.
Maximum width down the road without a curb is 8.6 now, right?
What is it?
8'6"
What?
is maximum width without a special permit?
Phew.
8-6.
Yeah. Might want to
You get a wide load permit,
My-
$750,000 liability insurance costs you about $168 for the tow vehicle, up to 14 feet wide, $1 million for 15 feet, liability insurance to get that adds about another $50 or $60 to that permit. One tow vehicle, the permit is for the tow vehicle.
Is that a one-time use, or is that for a year?
That's the year.
Oh. Game on. Do one a month. Get them to your site, or maybe if you get the permit, maybe let everybody else know, hey, I still got a permit, I've already paid for it. Work with each other, help each other out. Anything else? Let's see, what else can I come up with?
How is it considered for as far as occupancy? If I use a portable, or say I have a cabin-like structure that I use as my employees were to use it, I mean.
For housing while they're
not for
working?
housing, but as a workplace, so I want to build a portable structure to move around the park like a.
Command center on wheels
Yeah,
and,
basically, yeah, does it fall underneath anything I'm gonna need a permit for like this?
well, are they gonna be sleeping in there at night? Give them an ice fishing shack on wheels and let them drag that around. If they need something to stay out of the elements, like the severe sun and driving wind and rain, maybe come up with a small snowmobile trailer and put a shack on it. They're not gonna be sleeping in it. That's where the state gets the rub here, is that people are gonna be coming up, sleeping in these things. They just want them safe. The bottom line, they just want safety. Hopefully it never burns. So, and if it does burn, you got the 3.0 door to get out. You got smoke detectors in it. If you put a window in your bathroom, first of all, don't put a window in your bathroom. But if you put a window in your bathroom, and if it's within 5 feet of a drain, you better have tempered glass in that window. You're never gonna have it. These things are already so darn small. You're not gonna pay $700 or $800 for a little window in a bathroom. Don't say never. The minute I say that, you're gonna have the next 10 units are all gonna have tempered glass in their bathrooms. Anyway, you gotta have an exhaust fan if you're gonna have a bathroom in these. There's nothing saying you have to have a bathroom in them. Again, plumbing, maybe not. But if you do have a bathroom, and you do have to have an exhaust fan, it will be vented to outside. Not up into the attic, not buried in a wall. Yes.
Somebody's kind of asking about using it for different purposes. If somebody built one of these, it had the plumbing and everything in it, electrical and plumbing,
Yep.
would it be permissible for someone to live in that year-round?
No.
Okay,
It's a camping unit to be used 6 months out of the year.
okay.
And the wording also in it, the wording in the code, I believe, states that it's for like weekend or recreational use for like up to 2 weeks at a stretch. So no, it's not a permanent residence for 6 months.
How about the tiny houses people build? What code does that one those fall under?
This is really close to it, but that is for full-time residential use. It's probably more restrictive, I would think.
And there's a new code out in February this year for tiny homes, and it's a federal code is out there.
It's been adopted and it's being enforced?
Yeah, February this year.
So last month? Okay.
For tiny homes. They got stair runs, there was a lot, yeah.
They can be higher because it's already tiny, so it's, like I was saying about the ladders.
There was a lot of stuff that was questionable that was spelled out, because you get a lot of people, oh, a tiny home, it is, these are camping units, so it finally came,
They finally addressed it on their end,
yeah.
where ours has always said, when Bud worked with the state and myself and others, no, these are not to be lived in full-time. 6 months for use, the camping season, and typically people don't go camping for more than 2 weeks, but up to 2 weeks, and it's typically just the weekends, or if they have an extended week where it's a weekend and it's a weekend before, the week of, and the weekend on the other side. you're maybe looking at 10, 11 days, maybe 12, depends upon when they show up. I wanted to talk about ladders real quick. You can have some really steep stairs, and that's where the code is different from residential. They're not gonna make you follow a residential code, because by the time you get from the first floor to the second floor in these camping units, you're gonna eat up so much square footage, it's not even feasible. So they allow a steeper set of stairs. And where I'm been helping you guys out with is a lot of people are installing ladders that are basically just bolted right to the wall, but you have a little standoff bracket for hands and feet, and you put grab features in there so you can get up and down easily with the kids. I'm not gonna climb up there. I'll go up there once just to inspect it, and then I'm out of there, but, yeah.
Well, this is for licensed campgrounds.
Okay.
That's the difference between tiny homes. Tiny homes can go on a private piece of property. They have their own set of rules.
Right.
What you're doing is for
Campground owners.
Owners that have license, state license to operate, build those units for inside their campgrounds.
That are portable.
Yep.
You can trade them like trading
Right,
cards.
same
Yep.
thing.
You can move them around
But for in a licensed campground.
for a licensed campground owner. Yep. Yep. So, I threw up my business cards. I didn't have those last year. I did, but I got more information. I got my website on there now, or a email address. I do operate out of the southeast corner of the state. I will be around here the rest of the day today. I will be here all day tomorrow, and then I'm out of here after Thursday, I don't know, about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Got to get back to work. So, anything else? And how are we doing on time? Anybody? I shut my phone off so it wouldn't.
We got about, well, we go till 4:15.
And what time is it, right?
About half an hour.
I got a half hour.
No, I think it goes till 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So what? So I got 15. I've seen. Go ahead.
What's the difference between this permit and the land use permit?
Land use is a zoning permit saying that okay, we have a residential zone over here where you have single family, maybe duplexes, maybe multifamilies, families. And over here it's a business district. So land use is, okay, over here where it's all business and businesses and offices and strip malls and you know, grocery stores and offices and stuff, you're not gonna have a house over here. And you're not gonna have a business over here. It's to organize and to make sense of a city. You wanna see us, anybody here from Beaver Dam? You guys have zero zoning. You'll have this on top of that with this. Oh, I went in that town, I about made my head hurt. No land use.
Because I can use this.
Yes, anywhere in the state.
Yeah, but for the
Build-
camping units,
Building permit. Oh, you can build a new house, you can, yeah. Yes,
these ones are $25 by me in Florence County.
you want some more?
Permit.
Oh, the permit, okay.
Permit to build a camping unit, a cabin.
Yep, okay.
$25.
Okay,
When I wanted to build a little store, which isn't gonna sleep anybody, I had to get the land use permit, and that cost me $60.
zoning permit.
Now, what's the difference? I mean, the cabin's 30 feet away from the store.
One's portable, one's not.
Correct. They're all portable.
It's very
My
similar,
store
that's
is
why I was
portable.
asking the question.
Now, with the store, don't you have to
If
have
you
it
just make
anchored
portable.
to the ground somehow as far as that? Because I
I
ran into
think,
that
I think that'd be a
last year.
question for the person who's issuing you the fee.
Putting a concrete-
Well,
because-
the problem is this is a new zoning,
Just wants
a new
commercial.
guy,
Okay, okay.
brand new, young kid.
Green, yep.
The guy who was there for 40 years
Yeah.
was great. This
Yep.
guy really doesn't, I don't know if he
Get it.
understands
He
it all.
doesn't get it, yeah.
Because then we had to go through and figure out, because my property, the 73 acres, is in like 3 different parcels.
Okay.
So he had to come out to measure to make sure I was,
So far off that lot line, and
and I said, yeah, but I own them all.
doesn't matter,
That's what he,
doesn't matter.
okay,
Because you could sell one
a parcel.
to somebody who could get a really chap baboon backside because your portable something is 2 inches too close.
Okay.
I'm from down in the southeast corner of Wisconsin. Yeah, well, we get a lot of Illinois people that like to bring their money and all their drama from Chicago up. So they like to bitch a lot. And how do you shut them up? You got to go out there, you inspect something, and if you find something wrong, you got to share the love with the person that had no idea that their tree was too far over on the lot line. Trust me, it happens. Anyway, they're out there. It's unique to each lot. So do whatever he says.
Yep, it's basically.
Shut him up. Yes, sir. I mean, he might be 11. Yes, sir. Go, I'll do it. Yeah.
The zoning permit is for the land use and the building permit is for the building.
Correct. And you don't have a zoning permit for what I'm doing, for what I'm talking to you guys, because they're portable. Because it goes to your campground.
I didn't have I didn't need a building permit for the store,
Because it's portable.
because it was a land use permit.
Okay.
Did you hardwire that building?
Yes.
There you go.
Now it's tied. Now it's tied to the ground. You got to disconnect? Quick.
Yes, just like a camper.
Yeah. What county you in?
Florence.
Yeah, I'm not coming up there. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up, bro. I'm not gonna make it up there. You can put any kind of siding you want on these. You can go vinyl siding. The North Star place, they do 4x8 sheets of like T111 plywood, which makes it really rigid when you're hauling it down the street or when you're trying to hop this thing off the trailer and put it back on. It really helps with the strength and the integrity of the units. I'm not a representative of North Star. You can build your own, you can buy your own, you can do whatever you want. It's just they're a good reference to use when I'm here talking to you guys. Vinyl siding, you're gonna have to put plywood on the walls anyways for its integrity, and then you put vinyl. I don't know if you're saving anything, probably not. My philosophy is if you can just put a sheet of plywood up there that's paintable and weather tight, maybe, and that would satisfy what I'm looking for. Would be some kind of weather barrier to keep Mother Nature outside. I think that's it. Any other questions? Yes.
So if I had a building built in a factory, will you go and inspect it at the factory?
Yes, I will.
Build it, and then all they can do is then they can mount it and deliver it.
They would deliver it. What they could do would be, and up there at North Star, I've done this a couple times, where they would build the shell, and they are also hired to finish it there.
Yeah.
So I would go up there and visit it when it's in the production. And then the other case is they just sent the shell out to like Bud. He bought like 4 shells like 3 years ago. And I looked at the framing before they even started plugging anything in. One unit they put bare bones in. The next one they put every bell and whistle, electric and plumbing in it. So I was able to see it there. So, yeah, yes.
You said your cost was somewhere around $550?
Yeah.
Does that include 3 inspections?
That's the fee. Yep.
That's 3 inspections?
Yep.
Okay, what if you have to go back for another inspection?
Never had.
Something-
Some a-hole inspectors would like to sock you more money because time is money. My time's worth something, your time's worth something, your time, I would not. I haven't charged for a reinspection fee. You know what? 9 times out of 10, what I do catch, it's repairable, and they have the contractor or the campground owner can fix it right there while I'm there.
Stuff underneath the plates or-
Put a stud under there. Put a cover plate on where the wires are. We don't quite yet have this light that we want to put in our camping unit. Well, then just put a cover plate over it. When it comes, take a picture of it, send it to me. Okay, here you go. And, I'll give you your green seal because I don't want to drive up to the north. I want to stay out of Florence County. But you better send me the picture when that light comes in, you get it hung. Send me the picture. Shut me up. You want to shut us up. Keep them happy. Don't have to call me sir, but just get them to the. But do whatever you got to do to answer the questions, address it, move on. And I have never had to charge, and I'm not gonna. I'd like to not have to charge for, I mean, if you're gonna put something in and it's gotta go this way, and you keep putting it in this way, now I might have to charge you, come on. So, they're camping units. They're, you could probably fit 2 or 3 in this room. They're not that big. So, it's a smaller home. There's not much to them. Code's pretty black and white. I will get the DSPS code to this and get it to whoever can mass mail it out to you guys. So if you want to read something while you're taking care of business on the toilet or whatever, you can read it, whatever. Set your coffee cup on it. So that's about it. Thanks for your time. I'm going to be around the rest of the day.